Hi everyone, my name is Julie. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm like sort of in a bare face and in a bathrobe. It is my end of the day and I needed to film this video because I'm excited to dig into new stuff. And I'm glad Germany still has sunlight at the end of the day, but I just needed to do this. So I apologize for this. I was like rubbing my eyes and then I was like, I need that film, and I'm like, I'm not putting on more makeup, are you kidding me? This is what she's gonna do today. So this is what we're gonna do today. I know you all will forgive me, but let's go into this because we are doing a brand new month. I'm so excited. This is my monthly palette for this year. For 2019, I wanted to rotate through my palettes. It's kind of like a 1 month, 1 palette thing, but I'm deciding if I want to keep it or if I'm going to declutter it. And my goal was to declutter 4 palettes, and I have already done that. So I've already met my goal, so I'm going to see if I can get closer to 6. But let's go through what I used last month, because last month was a high-end month, which was very exciting for me. And I'll show you what I picked for May. Nope, what I picked for June. I don't even know what month it is. What I picked for June to use, because that's going to be a drugstore priced palette. So let's go through this. I used 2 palettes last month. One is this Viseart. This is the Viseart Petite Pro palette. This is the second one, so Petite Pro 2. And it opens kind of like this. So you got the mirror on one side, and you got the shadows on the other side. It's about the size of a credit card, but it is a little bit thicker than that. And what I think is interesting is when you set it up, it folds down. Y'all know how I feel about packaging like this. I really like a lid that stands up, and I know that's stupid. I get it, but like, it's a thing that I look for, especially in travel palettes, because travel palettes, you don't always have the best light. So sometimes I like to walk to the window in my hotel room and do my eyeshadow that way. But let's talk about these shades. Okay, so this is the Petite Pro 2. The mattes on this top row are fantastic. They're so nice. You've got a matte cream. This is like a blush cream, so it's a little bit deeper than your average cream that you see in palettes. We have this shade here, which it looks almost like a strawberry red, but when you put it on your eyes, it comes off pink, which I was not expecting. I was expecting more of like a melon shade. Actually, that's very true to shade right there, which you cannot see for some reason. Let's see if I can build that up. Yeah, you can see it's not coming out strawberry at all. It's coming out much, much more muted than that. Not that it's not pretty, it's just more muted than I expected it to be. Then you've got a dark brown, you've got a matte purple plum, and then you have these 4 shimmers, which are all a version of purple/pink, okay? This is my issue with this palette. I can only get one look from this palette. All of these shimmers, so these 2 outside shimmers look, even though that one's pink and this one's lavender, and you've got like a pink over here, they kind of look the same on the lids. Same with these 2, they kind of look the same on the lids. And I can't, and these are, I'm so frustrated by this palette. I really am, because it's so beautiful. And the formula is good on these shimmers too, but it doesn't look on the eye like that. It like has very little shimmer glitter when it goes on the eye, and I really like a glittery lid. Like I'm there for that. That's what I want. That's kind of what I look for. And these colors are just so pretty, but heaven forbid if they're not kind of chalky. Especially that one, this like pink one is kind of chalky. And every time I put my brush into these, they threw up so much powder. I was amazed. I don't get it. Is this palette a different formula? Please tell me that this palette's a different formula than every other Viseart shadow. Because I've got singles and they don't do this, but this one was like, I'm not going to miss this palette out of my collection. I'm decluttering it. This is number 5. I am 100% decluttering this, and I don't know why people talk about Viseart shadows so much. And I have 2 single shadows that I like, but this one, yeah, the mattes are good. They're pigmented. The shimmer, though, they're nothing special. They're like Lorac better. Especially if you're okay with a bit of powder kick up. Lorac is better than this. I don't know why people are talking so highly about this palette. But I'm going to give it to a new home, someone who will love it. Thank you so much for trying Viseart. Bye-bye. I will not miss you. And then let's talk Marvelous Mauves, because this also is a powdery eyeshadow palette. It's very, very powdery, but this one blends really nicely. And it's an all matte palette. I have it in the shade, what shade is this? Hang on, let me get rid of this stuff. Marvelous Mauves. Okay, by Dose of Colors. Marvelous Mauves by Dose of Colors. This is the palette right here, and I like this palette. Okay, same issue as Viseart, super, super powdery. I'm gonna say that a million times, super powdery, but I got beautiful looks out of this palette. So if you want an all matte palette, and this is cool tone, which is really nice, I liked it. I mainly focused on these 3 shades here. I put this light pink all over my lid. You can actually see I've worn off the powder a lot on that one. This one would kind of, the second one, it would go on my crease, and then this one would go to deepen up the outer corner. Occasionally I'd go for one of the deeper 2s, but really I didn't need to, although I could. But I thought this was great, and it pairs really well with a lot of different eyeshadows that I already have. I could put a lot of glitters on top of this and it looked great. I thought this one was way better than the Viseart. I know why this palette is hit or miss for people though. It is powdery, so you have to be really careful where you do your eye placement. I actually have this on this eye, although this eye has been rubbed off. It's on this eye, and it just gave this nice, I think it buffs out really easily. It's not, I think between this and the Viseart, hands down this one won. I think the colors are really nice. I think there's a nice variation here. So while you really can get 2 looks, you can get like a smoky and an everyday palette look, I kind of liked it. So I'm keeping this one. I'm shocked. I thought it was going to go the other way. Because this palette, before I was using it in this particular project, I was kind of like, I never really reached for it, but now I'm going to, because I was like, yeah, okay, that's really good. And just so in full disclosure, so everyone knows, I took out the Viseart probably 2 weeks ago, and to add a little variety into the Marvelous Mauves Dose of Colors palette, I did start reaching for my Sweet Peach palette by Too Faced, and I enjoyed this. I really like this one too. And just so you can see where we're at with it, I don't have pan in anything because I don't really use palette long enough to get, but I used a lot of White Peach, a lot of Luscious. Luscious is probably my favorite shade in this entire palette. I used a lot of Puree and Summer Yum. Bellini was beautiful, Just Peachy was beautiful, Cobbler, caramelized a little bit. Like I used a good section. If you take out basically like this last row and that like black one up there with glitter in it, I used almost every shade, and I like this one. So I'm not getting rid of the Sweet Peach palette, but I don't know if we want to call it like officially part of this project, but I only used it for 2 weeks, kind of in conjunction with the Marvelous Mauves one. If you put Luscious, by the way, over any of those matte pink shades, it looks really good. All right. So 5 palettes out of my collection, which is really nice. So I had a little fun. I was kind of choosing between like 4 different drugstore palettes that I have in my collection. One was a CoverGirl, I have a L'Oreal palette, I have 2 BH Cosmetics palettes, so I was like, 2. I don't know what this hand is doing anymore. It's like it has a mind of its own. I had 2 BH Cosmetics palettes, and out of the 4, I was really debating which I wanted to go for. My other BH Cosmetics palette was calling to me a little bit, but it's all like pinky neutral. It's very similar to my Marvelous Mauves palette, but I thought that they're really good quality from what I remember. It's like that Carly Bible palette. I'll show you. The Carly Bible palette here. I really thought about maybe pulling this one out, but I thought maybe this one would be a little bit boring. So I decided to go with my other BH Cosmetics palette. This is the Zodiac palette. I bought this on the recommendation of Laura May Beauty. She is obsessed with this palette, and so I'm sure many of you have already seen this. This is color, guys. So much color. But what's really interesting about this is, other than maybe the green sparkle and the blue sparkle, like the teal sparkle, but I think I can use these. And of course it's really nice to have the middle mattes here. It is missing a matte cream because this center shade is a highlighter. So let's just for fun. It's definitely a highlighter. Can't use it all over the lid. So the only thing this is missing is a matte cream, but I have those in my collection, so I'm not super worried about that. It's just a little bummed about that in like this style palette, where this would be the only thing I'd want to reach for, and have to find a matte cream somewhere, which is kind of like, but whatever. I'm excited to give this one a go. I got this at Christmas last year, and I only used it twice, I think. And I think it was only the shimmer shades, because it looks like the only one I've ever touched is that purple. Which is, do these have names? No, but it's that purple right there. It's the one right underneath Cancer. So it looks like that's the only one I've touched so far. I'm excited to give this one a go. We shall see at the end of June what I think about this. If it's going to stay in my collection, if it's going to go in my collection. If you have used this palette, please let me know what you think. What are your favorite shades? What are the best ways to use this? I know this is a really popular palette, and I would love to figure out how to use it from you guys, as well as like trying it out myself. But so many things have surprised me so far this year. Things I thought I was going to keep, I've actually passed on, and things I thought I was going to pass on, I've actually kept. So who knows what I think about this, but I will let you know in 30 days. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.